Broadcasting live from the Newsmax studio in New York City, here is Steve Malzberg.
You know, the Constitution makes it clear that a president's job is to faithfully execute the laws. This is not about impeachment. This is about his faithfully executing the laws of our country.
All right, folks. John Boehner earlier today announcing he is suing the President of the United States. By the way, Chris McDonnell, who was defeated in the Mississippi Senate runoff by Thad Cochran, the incumbent, yesterday, I believe was 6,693 votes with 99% of the vote counted. He reportedly is refusing to concede, and we will have more developments on that as they become available. But I want to go back to some more of what John Boehner had to say today in announcing, again, that because he believes the president is running roughshod over the Constitution, that's my word, and is circumventing Congress wherever he can, he is going to sue the President of the United States. Here's some more.
This is about defending the institution in which we serve. You know, if you look back over the last 235 years of our history, there's been a movement between the inherent powers of the executive branch versus the inherent powers of the legislative branch. And what we've seen clearly over the last 5 years is an effort to erode the power of the legislative branch. I believe the president is not faithfully executing the laws of our country. And on behalf of the institution and our Constitution, standing up and fighting for this is in the best long-term interest of the Congress.
So this is going to be very interesting. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of talk from the left. I could hear it already. I haven't heard it yet because I've been working all day. But hopefully some of them are hearing me. But I will predict that they will be saying that they're suing, you know, a bunch of white men or suing the first black president of the United States because they have a problem with a black man in the White House. You've heard it before. You'll hear it again. My prediction. But I'm glad. Who was it? Gary Bauer, who we had on earlier, agree with what he says or don't agree with what he says. But on this issue, he was glad, he was encouraged that John Boehner did this today. And he said, and I think this is a great line, he said, whatever John Boehner had for breakfast today, I wish he would have it for breakfast every day. Because, you know, better late than never, I think was what he also said about this. And I agree. I don't know how fast this could take place. This is going to be a long, drawn-out process. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know what's possible from this lawsuit. I don't even know what standing they're claiming, who else will be signed on to the suit, what damages he could show. I have no idea how successful this suit will be, what it will claim, etc. But I think it's important, symbolically at least, and I hope for you know, firm results, but symbolically to show the president and to show the country and to show the world that if we believe our president is circumventing the Constitution and trying to do everything behind the backs of Congress without congressional approval, then he has to be reined in one way or another, and this is one way, certainly. And kudos to John Boehner. One other story that we'll have more on tomorrow. You know, the Sudanese authorities have now again detained that young woman who gave birth in prison. She was sentenced to death by hanging. They let her out of death row. She had converted to Christianity and refused to renounce Christianity and return to Islam. So now there are conflicting reports about Miriam Ibrahim, but they say now that she was freed from death row, but she's been detained trying to leave the country because they're saying she's using phony papers. Now, they should let this woman out, and they should let this woman out now. But then again, they should also let a Marine out of Mexico. You know, we have an administration that's more concerned about less important things and not concerned about things that really matter, like these two cases. We're coming back with Sally Pipes. Don't go away. But first, we're going to have America's Moment, as we always do. And today, it looks into the end of Prohibition. Watch.
It was intended to take the roar out of America's roaring 20s, but instead its passage divided the nation and began an era of bootleggers, speakeasies, and rum-running gangsters. When ratified in 1919, the 18th Amendment to the Constitution outlawed the manufacturing, transportation, and sale of intoxicating liquors. Consequently, organized crime was quick to step up and quench the thirst of an eager nation. The Volstead Act gave federal agencies the legal authority to enforce prohibition. But with an average of only 30 enforcement agents per state, the illegal liquor flowed freely. By 1925, in New York City alone, authorities estimated over 100,000 illegal bars were thriving, with customers consisting of friends, neighbors, and lawmakers alike. Still, some law enforcement became famous fighting the booze trade. One was Elliot Ness. As a top agent of the Bureau of Prohibition, Ness led a team of men known as the Untouchables. Tough and incorruptible, they brought down Chicago bootlegger and mobster Al Capone. But bowing to public pressure, in his 1932 presidential campaign, Franklin Roosevelt endorsed the repeal of prohibition. It was later reported, with the Depression in full swing and national morale at rock bottom, then President Roosevelt remarked, "I think we could all do with a beer." With the passage of the 21st Amendment on December 5, 1933, Prohibition was officially repealed, making the 18th Amendment the only amendment in the U.S. Constitution repealed by the passage of another. Still, even with the repeal of Prohibition, many states chose to remain dry, the longest running of which was Mississippi, who didn't repeal their self-imposed prohibition until 1966. For Newsmax TV, I'm Bill Curtis, and this is an American Moment.